Hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to When the Night Comes. In the last episode, we finally confronted Harry. He admitted everything. He is the one responsible for the Chimera. And not only that, he also said that he expects Camille to not only go along with his plans, but to participate. He confirmed that the reason why Camille was brought to Lunaris was so that she could be his next monster. Now, of course, Camille isn't going to go along with this. However, Harry thinks she is. And that gives us a position of power. It is time to bring him down, to stop these horrific experiments once and for all. August and I stand in stoic silence, the air still heavy. Their hands are balled into fists at their side, and they take a deep breath before they move to take a seat at their desk. It's still raw, like an open wound, an exposed nerve, and it will be for a while. I don't quite know what to say or do, but I do know that I need to be here for them. I crouch down beside them, prying their hands away from their face, and I lace our fingers together. Reluctantly, they smile down at me, their eyes red from crying. I know I can't say anything to make it better, but I want you to know I'm here for you. Always. August's smile brightens a little, and they squeeze my fingers.
Having you by my side will keep me strong. Of that much I'm sure.
Oh, sweetheart. Do it! I settle on my knees, leaning forward and tipping my head towards them. They smile, big, bright, and beautiful, and they lean in to meet me halfway. Our lips brush, and I reach up to cup their cheek. They eagerly lean into my touch, their hair soft as it brushes my fingertips. I can feel them sinking into it like it was this desperately needed thing, like they needed me to breathe life into their lungs. We part reluctantly, and August sighs, holding my hand against their face. I love you. I stand up and press a kiss to their cheek.
I love you too.
Oh. Ah. I get this voice actor though. I'm just like, oh my days. Oh, Jonah Scott is just a cracking job. A cracking job. We should get some rest. I anticipate we won't get much of a chance in the coming days. August sighs heavily, their shoulders sinking as they slump in their chair.
You're probably right. Now let's go. I cannot bear to be here any longer.
August's hand lingers upon the door handle, their gaze longing as they stare back into their empty office. I rest my hand against the small of their back, and their lips curl into a small smile at the contact. You'll be back, August. They frown as if they don't quite believe me, but long to. Let us hope. We pass many an enforcer on the way out of headquarters, some gazing upon us with pity, others with disdain. Oh, damn. It really does seem like all of the enforcers at HQ were in on it except for August. And that is probably because Harry knew that they were the one who wouldn't go along with it. August has too much empathy. They care too much for the hunters under their command. Whereas the others kind of more like, oh, it's us and them, ba ba ba. You know, Harry could easily sway them, but he couldn't sway August. Oh god, that just adds on to the pain August must be feeling. They're kind of like, my father figure betrayed me, and all of my colleagues were in on this secret and none of them told me. Like, damn. August keeps their head down and their eyes on the ground, but I make a point to keep my chin up and my head high. You will not defeat us. As we draw nearer to August's house, a familiar figure skids around the corner, her chest heaving.
Fucking hell, you're both okay? I heard in the wolf that he's back.
Yep. I'm just gonna be doing this all throughout this episode. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for a thumbnail for this episode. Admittedly, if there's some nice artwork, then I can use that, but... oh, so many people are gonna be angry. I can tell this is gonna be like the big preparation. I feel like, I know there are 10 chapters. Either chapter 9 will be like, we're preparing, we're gearing up for the fight, and then that will be in chapter 10. Or potentially, this is where the fight is going to be, and then chapter 10 will be like, almost like a little epilogue. It'll be the kind of the aftermath, I'm thinking. Yeah, he's back.
Yes, he's back. And he's lost his damn mind, apparently.
Piper raises her brow, her eyes flicking between us. Well, yeah, no shit. She withers under August's sharp gaze, her expression softening and her eyes falling to our joined hands. Are you really both okay? He didn't do anything other than prove to us just how guilty he is. August moves from foot to foot, restless, clearly longing for the comfort of their home. I squeeze their hand and offer them a gentle smile. Go ahead, I'll be right behind you. August opens their mouth to protest, but my raised brows tell them I'm not about to argue. Very well, but don't be long. I won't. Their touch lingers as we release one another, and they rest their hand upon Piper's shoulder in passing, a gesture of comfort. We both watch them go, their stride slow. They're a shadow of the confident August we both know and love. It physically hurts me not to follow them, but I must talk to Piper. She deserves to know. She looks to me with wide, hopeful eyes.
What the hell happened in there?
Oh, so much shit. I take a deep breath, knowing this blow will hurt, and already bracing myself for the impact of her response. I know that we already suspected it, but... Piper quickly holds up a hand, her expression twisted and angry.
It's fine. You don't have to say it. I can already tell by the look on your face.
Then she softens. There's nothing we can do for her? I shake my head, and her hand falls back to her side, her fingers curled into a tight fist, knuckles bleeding white. All we can do now is hope to put her out of whatever misery he's inflicted upon her. It will be a kindness. She looks right through me, a single tear trailing her cheek. A kindness. Piper, did you want to No, I should go. I reach out to stop her, taking her arm. We'll finish this, once and for all. Too fucking right we will. Go. They need you more than I do. And with that, she carefully pries herself free of my grip and disappears into the darkness. They say hunters sleep with one eye open, but enforcers sleep with 2. And you don't get as far as whoops, let's try that again. They say hunters sleep with one eye open, but enforcers sleep with 2. And you don't get as far as Harry without paying full attention. There's no use hating him, not now. I've seen what I need to in order to make my choice. And yet, it still hurts. And a strategic part of me loathes the cold silence I'd given him for an answer. Conscience makes your work harder, my mentors used to tell me. And they weren't wrong. It's always been worth it though. Especially now as I think about Aya and Piper and August. Still, they weren't wrong. But there's only one person I truly long to be with right now. I head straight for August's house with haste, noticing downstairs has been left in darkness. The door opens with a simple push, and the inviting glow of candlelight lures me upstairs. Oh, is this another sex scene? It would feel rather weird to have another sex scene, given that August has just been betrayed by their mentor and father figure, but like, fuck it, I don't know. I find them sitting on their bed, half undressed, staring out of the window, but their expression brightens when I sit beside them and take their hand in my own. Did you tell her? I nod, tracing a soothing touch over the back of their hand with my thumb. I did. She seemed okay, if not a little, well, Piper. August laughs at that, a genuine thing, and it pleases me to hear.
I truly do feel sorry for Harry if she ever gets her hands on him.
Oh, she'll kick his ass! They purse their lips, pondering that thought.
Or maybe that would be nice, actually.
Their smile is sly, and I lean in to press a kiss to their cheek. They hum their approval, a heavy sigh then falling from their lips when I withdraw. Suddenly, the bruises that I've tried to bury deep throb, inside and out. Harry's face, his blithe conviction that this is somehow the right path, the niggling, obedient, insidious doubt in me that whispers that perhaps he's right. Perhaps prices must be paid for our safety. He's the Lieutenant General, and I'm only a hunter. Only a soldier. Nothing has been done yet, and I still feel almost sick to my stomach. But the worry is more muted now, further away. Tomorrow I'll figure it out. We'll all figure it out. Together. I shake off my little daze, and I take August's hand, hopeful. Bed? The look that crosses their face is one of barely disguised relief, and when I move to pull back the covers, they eagerly crawl beneath them. Thank you for being there, and here, now. I take off my clothes, sliding in beside them. Always. Do it. We turn to face one another, and I smile as their long hair splays across their pillow like a silver halo. I reach for them, trailing my finger over their cheek, feeling their skin heat in the wake of my touch. Though we're both tired, nothing could stop me from wanting them. We edge closer, and we bridge that infinitesimal gap that parts us. Their lips are soft and pliant against my own, and there's no sense of urgency in our movements. Just a slow, sleepy savouring of one another. August commands the candles to die out, and we're left in blissful darkness. The next morning we meet in the catacombs, aware that it's probably the only location in town at this point where Harry cannot have us watched. Oh my days, the gang's all, well, I was going to say the gang's all here except for Omen and Alcar. Where are they hanging out? There's a growing awkward silence between us, August frowning down at their feet with sudden, intense concentration. I almost laugh at the sight of this mismatched group huddled in Finn's quarters, and Finn's eyes are firmly fixed upon Piper, who unabashedly pokes and prods his belongings. She picks up what I assume to be a very real human skull, staring deep into its vacant eye sockets, then smirking smugly at our undead companion.
This what you use to practice your flirting every night?
Finn grins, shrugging with a cocky kind of nonchalance.
I don't need to practice.
Ooh, damn. He doesn't need to practice. He's got Ezra. Piper scoffs, placing it back upon the shelf. Sure. August groans loudly. Right, can we please get on with this? I can already feel my skin cursing me for spending so much time down in this damp pit. Then they all pointedly look at me, and I realise that the floor is mine. Right, yes. Omen and Alcar are patrolling the woods, making sure that we know where the best spot to confront Harry will be. Ezra raises his hand, and August rolls their eyes at his politeness. How are we going to get him to come find you? And how do you know he'll have Aya with him? Piper's gaze drops to the floor at the mention of her friend's name. We don't know. It's more of a hopeful optimism. I need to be the one to stop Aya. Oh, Piper. I mean, here's the thing. That's fine with me. I don't think Camille is the type of person to be like, no, I want the glory of killing the monster. Like, I don't think that's Camille in the slightest, but I worry about how that will affect Piper, just because Aya was such a dear friend of hers. Like, I'm not gonna deny her request if the game gives me the option to, but like, that is gonna hurt. Everyone looks at Piper.
She was my friend, and I might not be able to save her, but I can make sure it's as quick as possible.
Fair dues. August wraps an arm around her shoulder and pulls her close, their embrace quick but meaningful. We understand. Whatever you need.
And what of us? What do you need us to do?
Backup? Backup for the fight? Because I imagine it's going to be tough. Before I can respond, August steps forward.
Have our backs if necessary. Other than that, just stay hidden. The last thing we need is to rile him up further by flaunting our alliance with the very creatures he longs to eliminate.
Finn and Ezra exchange a look, and I can feel apprehension rolling off of them in waves, but they still nod their agreement. I'll use myself as bait, essentially. I'm sure he still thinks he can convince me to change my mind. He did seem hopeful when he left my office. He'll pay for what he's done.
Then all we need to do is wait, and hope that he comes.
Finn scoffs, crossing his arms over his broad chest.
He'll come. If I've learned anything about Harry in the years I've known him, it's that he never backs down when he has his sights set on something.
And that is terrifying, but at the same time, it makes him predictable. He's set his sights on Camille. He's not gonna back down. He will come to meet her. He will. August sighs, worrying their bottom lip between their teeth.
Yes, Finnegan is right. And he doesn't give a damn about the cost of his actions anymore either, clearly.
That thought has my skin prickling with heat, my hairs standing on end. He truly will stop at nothing. James's death proved that to all of us. Then he'll come, and we'll end this. Once and for all. Oh no. It's dusk in Lunaris. My feet are sore, my eyes tired, and all I can think about is how much I can't wait for all of this to be over. Is it just me, or does this sound very similar to the beginning of the game? I swear down, something in the very first few lines of the game were very reminiscent of this. I like that. I like that as a callback. That's nice storytelling there. My feet are sore, my eyes tired, and all I can think about is how much I can't wait for all of this to be over. In school, they trained us to kill monsters, and the irony of my current predicament does not escape me. Despite countless hours of training and study, nothing could ever have prepared me to fight my greatest enemy yet, the Lieutenant General of Askria. Harry is the true culprit, and it's still hard to grasp that he's the one responsible for the gruesome murders that brought me here. As I sink further into the town, the feeling of dread that is good grammar, I apologise. The feeling of dread that's been a constant in the pit of my stomach since I arrived strangely seems to dissipate. I wander with purpose through the narrow streets, hyper-focused on the task in hand. I'm ready to ensure that this place that I've come to call my home is once again safe, and in the hands of those that truly care for it. The only thing that distracts me from such thoughts is the way the sky begins to turn from purple to an inky, infinite black. I turn a corner, and I'm met with the familiar sight of people moving to get inside as darkness overtakes the town. Yeah, 100%, this is so reminiscent of the opening of the game. The sound of doors slamming and locking echoes off the crooked stonework. I recognise this line, yeah! Curtains are drawn, windows closed, and then darkness. Although the stars are shining brightly at a glance, and the crescent moon hangs low, neither offer much light. I think back to the first night I arrived, and how much my life has changed since. A lump forms in my throat as I realise that I've been gifted what I haven't known since childhood. A home, a family to call my own. So many things have been taken from me, from all of us. I straighten my shoulders, taking a deep breath. No more. Then I think about August, the person who has watched everything they believe in crumble around them, and yet they still stand tall and brave. An unquestionably good person who just needed to be shown that they are worthy of being loved. I've never known if certain people are truly made for one another, but when I look at August and I, at how we fit together so perfectly, I can't help but think that we were fated. if anyone dares to take that from me, from us. Determination licks through my bones, and I pick up my pace, boots heavy and loud against the cobblestones. The instincts that have been ingrained in me since my initiation into the Order kick in, and I know that I will win this fight. After all, I haven't lost one yet. And you know what? I am gonna leave off right here in the next episode. I think we will be fighting the Lieutenant General, but until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.